Hey, this is Matthew Tringali with BetterWho, and I just got off a call with one of my coaching clients, and it made me want to shoot this video for the rest of you. We were talking about policies around maintenance. And so I want to reenact a little bit about what we talked about here. So this is what a reenactment might look like in talking to a prospective client with a question you probably get pretty often, right? Ray, hi, this is the property management company. How can I help you? And then blah, blah, blah. And then they get to this question, right? Say, I have Uncle Bobby who owns the plumbing company, the solo plumber, and he's always done the plumbing work on my property. And so I want him to be able to continue to do all the plumbing work on my property. And I think he can also handle some of the electrical work too. Would that work? Could you always call Uncle Bobby to come out? That's a great question. I can see that you take great care of your home and you want to make sure your home continues to be taken great care of. We do pride ourselves on providing great maintenance service to our tenants and taking great care of the properties. A couple questions on Uncle Bobby, by the way. Is he licensed and insured? Oh yeah, he's licensed and he's been doing it for a long time. He must have a license and insurance. Okay, yeah. Do you know, does he have workers' comp insurance? Well, I don't know if that's required. I guess he has workers' comp insurance, whatever. Okay, great. So what I can tell you is that we're always looking for great vendors. And if Uncle Bobby's as great as you say he is, we'd love to get him onboarded as a vendor. So those will be some of the questions we'll be asking him, by the way, to see if he has that workers' comp insurance that we require and anything else that'll be needed. But assuming he qualifies or work as another one of our great vendors, then we'll put him in our system and we'll put a note in our system that says you'd like us to call Uncle Bobby. But I can't promise you that I'll always call Uncle Bobby. I want to, and I'll try. But what I can promise you is that we will always send out the best vendor for that particular situation, right? It could be there's another vendor that's more readily available, or the service area is more right for them, or their value is a little bit really good for us lately. They're providing great value, good pricing for you, that type of thing. We'll always send the best vendor in every particular situation, and that may or may not be Uncle Bobby. And part of the reason that's so important is because you may or may not know this, but the number one reason that your tenant is going to renew the lease besides the rental rate is whether or not they're getting great maintenance service at the property. And so we really pride ourselves. It's probably one of the reasons you called us, is because the reputation we have around providing that level of service to the tenant and the client. So that's what I can promise you, that we will always be doing the best thing in that regard for you and the best service for the tenant so that they'll renew the lease. Does that work for you? Right. And the prospective might respond in a number of different ways, right? They might say, oh, that sounds great. They might push back a lot. I mean, they can push back. No, I need to know that you will always use Uncle Bobby. And you have a decision to make. As I was on the coaching call with my client, I was like, how do you want to handle that? Do you want to be the type of company that's willing to make these exceptions? And the coaching client that I had on this call, they were like, yeah, we have clients like this right now. They have 50 units with us. And I know for sure they would not work with us if we weren't going to provide that level of customization. And here's my answer to that. And it's the same answer I have for you watching this video, which is, by all means, if that's the level of service you want to provide, go for it. But you better be the most expensive property management company in town, because that's a very high level of service. So if you're going to provide that high level of service, know your worth and your value and charge for it accordingly. Because the problem, it's not efficient, right? And you probably will make mistakes unless you're going to be really staffed up so that you can go really slow on every work order and take your time to very thoroughly know, okay, every work order could be customized and different here. Every client might want something different. Maybe this client, I need to call for this type of approval. Maybe this client wants to send Uncle Bobby, like whatever, right? No problem if you want to do that, but you're going to have to be very staffed for that, which means that you need to be charging a premium price to be offering that premium value. What most companies are going to do, what I generally recommend, is avoid the edge cases and actually be a very efficient company so that you can provide great value in your base fees and then go from there and how you can monetize your business. But it's helpful to have those policies that will allow you to grease the wheels. So I hope you found that helpful. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.